Good morning, everyone. What an exciting time. And I know, like I said, I've been pretty inconsistent with my videos, but lately, as we all know, as Laker fans, we have a lot to be excited about, a lot of things that have changed that for a majority, most of the fans, well, at least me included, um, have been wanting and asking for a change in our lineup, asking for Prince to get less minutes and to be starting on the bench. And what a difference this team is now that we're actually seeing the chemistry start to build. However, it's unfortunate that it took this long. We're already halfway through the season. We're just trying to scratch at making play in, at this point being the play in team. It's just insanity because this team has been the same team from week one. And, you know, obviously we had a great free agents window. That was great defensively, and he does do produce offensively. So listen, when AD, LeBron, both are healthy. I do not want to see Prince ever again in the starting lineup, ever. Okay. Rui proved himself, and I've literally said to my previous videos how much of a difference he is when I saw him starting to play and get minutes. Like his confidence and his body language a lot was showing that he was not comfortable. He felt very like I think people didn't feel like they trusted him enough. And now, as you continue to start him, you see him start to become the player that I saw him to be. Like, I see him using his body, using his ability, his talent, his offense. He's not the best defender, but at the same time, he uses his body when he needs to, which is a big thing in getting rebounds and getting the assist of, putting in extra points. Like, that's the thing. I literally have been asking for weeks, please stop starting Prince. And the fact that it took us until after free agency to do that is insanity to me. I think Rob Pelinka did a great job in not trying to trade any of our players for anything that is less value. I do think that he must have had some kind of conversation, or there must have been some talks about, hey, this team is great the way it is. We don't need to add any players unless they're going to be a extreme upgrade if we're giving away our talent. When Gabe Vincent comes back, if he ever comes back at this point, um, that's another depth player that we have. I don't think he needs to start, honestly. At this point, you have a chemistry in your starting five that needs to be continued. And like I said, build on their confidence. D'Lo has been going off. Reeves, like I said, we have really good, talented players. I think people have the expectations that every player that starts should be great both offensively and defensively, and that's just not the case. You can't have somebody that does both. Like, it's just like being a master of you either a master of all or an expert in some. So I think people need to remember you can be one or the other. It's very uncommon that you see both. Obviously, AD and LeBron are really great at both, but like I said, they also have their downfalls. Like I said, consistency. Either way, I'm happy with this team and the adjustments we made. I do think that the coaching needs to step it up in the sense of seeing that when the team that we're playing against has an offensive run, that there needs to be a timeout or a discussion. But I don't think he has it in him to make those adjustments. I don't even think he understands. I don't want to be that person, but I feel like sometimes I'm like, does he watch this game? Does he see that this team is making a run and pulling away from us and taking the lead to the point that I'm concerned that we won't get back? I think that's a big difference of what coaches win games and championships and the ones that don't. Um, I do think, like I said, the reason we didn't make playoffs is because of adjustments that took so long that should have never been a question. When you have players like Rui Hachimura, who's young, who's productive, who has this talent, and you don't elevate it, it's insanity to me. I've said it in multiple videos that LeBron James cannot be our sole weight in the sense of scoring. We cannot rely on him, and we literally have been this whole season. And they both have been healthy. Him and AD have been healthy this whole season. And the fact that literally this is what we're playing in the sense of where we're standings in the Western Conference is insanity to me. It just shows that incompetence in the coaching staff, because at this point, how did you now realize over half the season now, to make these changes? And I do think Rob Pelinka had a lot to say in this time frame. D'Lo did great. Like I said, I'm very happy with everything that we've done. And insanity to me is because we've had all these players. None of the players in our starting five are new. So the fact that we waited this long is frustrating. It's very upsetting. So I'm hoping that we can make play in. Like I said, the one thing that I am concerned about is the rotations, the adjustments, and whether our coach is going to be able to make those without hurting us. Like I said, a lot of the time, we have LeBron on the bench for too long, or AD, and it's just very inconsistent in the pattern. And I just don't know if he still hasn't figured it out. Like, it's just, how do you not figure out your players who you played with a majority of all last year, and now we're way half over the season and you still don't know how to rotate these players? And like I said, Max Christie is doing great. Hayes is doing great. We have a lot of depth. Like, we have really great, talented players. This is a really great team. I'll be very upset if we don't make playoffs, because if you were to tell me last year, the team that we had with Russell, with Westbrook, we were going to make playoffs, I would have laughed, because the team was just inconsistent. There was nobody else besides AD and LeBron on that team. This team this year, we have so many weapons and like lots of talent. And when Gabe Vincent comes back, it's just another defensive player. Like I said, I'm hoping his minutes are not gonna take over a lot of the players that have been starting all season, because, like, again, you ruin chemistry, you ruin the flow, the rotations. Yes, I understand sometimes you need to rotate players depending on who you're going against, but for the majority of part, keep this team the same that it was, that brought you that far to the championship last year, and then just incorporate different pieces depending on how the game plays and who your opponents are. I feel like that's the biggest thing. I'm still yet to see how Gabe Vincent will fit into this, and whether or not at this point it's even needed, because I'm just very upset, because, like, I was excited in the offseason when we got him, and it's just been disappointing knowing that he's been out all this time. Either way, like I said, if we don't make playoffs, I'll be very frustrated, and the coach has got to go, because this team is way too talented to not make playoffs. And the fact that we're even discussing that we may miss playoffs is insanity to me, because, like I said, it took over half the season to figure out that your starting five should be the ones that you had started in the championship. Is kind of crazy to me. But you know what? Go off. I don't know what he has, this obsession with his single players that don't produce. It was Dennis Schroeder last year. This year it's Prince. Like, what are you trying to prove? But trying to ruin this organization in the sense of potential LeBron's last good years, and AD's healthiness. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better roster this year than you've had this year, and it's disappointing, like I said, having where we're at now in the conversation. So tell me what you guys think, and obviously, what are your thoughts in the fact that, our rotation has changed? Are you happy, or are you still thinking that there's something that we need to change? All right, guys, have a good Friday. Bye.